Hello and welcome to this cozy little tea time. Pause this video and go grab yourself a cup of tea because we are going to talk today about minimalism and decluttering. Much needed for the fall. So hello and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, hello, my name is Candice and I am an introvert living in Los Angeles. I am also neurodivergent. I have chronic pain, I am a highly sensitive person, and I am a equestrian. So there's a lot going on in my life here in LA. I am working hard to be sustainable and allow myself to have a sustainable career and living in LA because it is a big city and it can be very overwhelming living here. It is also a really cool city. There's a lot of cool things to see here and do, so I would love to share the city with you and share how I live in it. I know that there's other actors out there that are sensitive and that are maybe not like in the LA culture so much that we see advertised. There's a lot more to this city than that, but I think it can be a little overwhelming for people to kind of realize that's where you're moving if you're going to come here for acting. Anyways, I digress. Today is going to be a cozy little fall tea time. I have my pumpkin spice chai and some almond milk ready to go. And I've let it get to lukewarm temperature. No, actually, it's warm. It's just not piping hot. So why am I going on this journey toward becoming more minimalistic? I think that the main reason is that I am overwhelmed, and I feel overwhelmed, especially with the stuff around me in our apartment. For context, we live in a one-bedroom apartment. It's nothing fancy. It's it's a good size, I guess. It's we live in a one-bedroom apartment. We moved here pretty quickly to LA. We had gotten a job notice, and I would say within 3 weeks we were in LA. So we didn't really have time to kind of prepare and purge and kind of organize what we wanted to come down here. So because of that, I feel like we have kind of accumulated things now living here for 2 years, and then also we just never sorted through the things that we don't use or anything like that. We just pretty much boxed it up and went down here because we just didn't have any time. So now that we are settled here, I would like to go through that stuff and decide which items that I enjoy and which items that I don't want to have anymore. I think growing up was interesting. I grew up pretty poor, and so I do know that there is a tendency for me to want to hold on to things just in case that we need to use it in the future. And I'm going to try my darndest to not do that because it does result in more of a crowded apartment, and being neurodivergent, having ADHD is another component of, I feel like the more things we have, the more overwhelmed I feel, and it can get cluttered in here. It's difficult to kind of keep up on like a decluttering, organization kind of thing. So because of that, it just kind of feels a little chaotic here all the time, and so I would like to, in a way, address that through this. So by having less things, we can have less overwhelm. I would also like to highlight the more realistic life of living here in LA. And I hope that my videos can kind of showcase that. And especially like with my decluttering videos, and you'll see our apartment, and as we go through it and everything, kind of what a more realistic apartment looks like here. I see a lot of tours on YouTube for LA. New York, I feel like, has some cool content. I feel like LA kind of just doesn't have a lot of cool vlog content of like actually living here. It's more of it's a city that is more I don't know more because I've never lived in New York, but it can be materialistic. It can be, the focus can be on having a lot of things, having expensive things. And in my life, I really want to focus on having more of an intentional life and more of a life that is sustainable for me and that is aligned with my values. It can be very easy here to get caught up in image, very easy. I've seen a lot of people that are caught up in that cycle, and you just go down this rabbit hole of like trying to keep up with whoever has more than you. And I'm wanting to avoid that. So in my decluttering, it is also in a conscious effort to release from that. So by having less things and by being more intentional with the things that I do own, I can stay more grounded here and allow myself to have a feeling of peace in my mind, my soul, around my space, and I'm excited for that. So as far as videos go, I would like to do some, decluttering with me, kind of getting your to-do list done with me, another kind of like body doubling. That would be cool though, to actually have like a live where we body double and get things done. That would be really cool. So yeah, maybe I'll do that in the future, but for this, to start off, I wanted to make just kind of time lapses of me, going through things, and we'll just get through this together, really. So yeah, I'm excited to make these videos, and I'm excited to bring you along with me on this journey as I declutter my life, and I hope that you can declutter yours, and I hope that you can get an idea of what it's like to be here in LA as a, somebody living here that is a realistic viewpoint on the city, because there is a lot of cool things here, and I just don't think that it's highlighted enough. So yeah, hopefully I can kind of bring that into the content as well. So yeah, if there are any specific decluttering videos you'd like to see, please let me know down in the comments and I will try to make those videos. I think another thing to consider is that we live in a very consumeristic society. So obviously, like, you can't just stop consuming completely because it's just so ingrained in our culture, in ourselves. And so I think if we can live consciously and intentionally the best way we can in this world, the more joy and happiness we will get, and having gratitude for the things that we do have. I think one of the things that I had while growing up and not having a lot was the gratitude for the things that I did have, and having an appreciation for those things. And that is what I would like to concentrate my gratitude in and my joy in, is being grateful for what I do have and grateful for the things that I do decide to keep, and allowing something to just be good enough. I feel like there's kind of a constant need for better things and a need for being better. And sometimes I can get really overwhelmed and caught up in that, just as like a life philosophy. And I think part of it can also be within the stuff we own. I find that I get overwhelmed by feeling like I need to constantly be better. And I do try to improve myself. Obviously, I am aware of myself and I try to bring that awareness to my daily life. However, I think I can get caught up in a perfectionism thing. So instead of it being we're getting better, it's I have to be perfect, and that's what I want to move away from. And so I know this sounds very philosophical, but in the way that it relates to my items and my clutter and decluttering is that I want there to be an intentional practice to keep things that I use, that I want to keep, and then let go of things that I don't use, and releasing myself from the shame of like letting things go. anyways, I'm excited to go on this journey, and I'm excited to bring you along with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day with your tea, and I will see you in my next video. Okay,